is so troubled and things are so troubled that Meghan Markle has now become totally obsessed with astrology because she is trying to do everything possible to save her career, to save her marriage. Now, I don't believe any of this is genuine. You know that. But Rob Shooter has fascinating new reporting on this. He says that Meghan's new astrology obsession is running her life. And Rob will be here in just one moment to reveal exclusive details. But first, let me take you through his new reporting. With sources telling Naughty But Nice that astrology is no longer a passing fascination for Meghan Markle. It has become a serious force in how the Duchess of Sussex now lives, works, and makes decisions. Rob reports this has moved far beyond reposting zodiac memes and cosmic affirmations. Insiders say Meghan now regularly consults star charts, energy readings, and spiritual advisors before making personal or professional moves, increasingly treating astrology as part of her decision-making process. This is no longer casual for Meghan, one insider tells Naughty But Nice. She checks timing, signs, and energies before almost anything important. Astrology has become part of how she operates, and sources say that now extends directly into business. She will not take a major meeting until she has checked the stars. One source tells Naughty But Nice, if the energy feels wrong, she delays it. If the chart looks off, she waits. That's how seriously she takes it now. Insiders say Meghan has also begun linking some of her recent business frustrations, including growing turbulence around Netflix, to cosmic misalignment and bad timing. In other words, it's not just that she's a total talentless bitch, it's in the stars. She genuinely believes bad energy has affected why certain projects have stalled, one source says. Sorry, I'm laughing. In Meghan's mind, timing is everything, and lately she feels much of what's happening around Netflix has been astrologically out of sync. Yeah, that's it, Mixie. Sources tell Naughty But Nice Meghan is now deeply focused on spiritual alignment, cosmic timing, and protecting her energy as she tries to regain control of her next chapter. And Rob reports, and I think this is the key part, Princess Diana famously turned to astrologers, psychics, and spiritual advisors during periods of uncertainty, and insiders say Meghan is now following a strikingly similar path. At this point, astrology is not a hobby, says one source. It's part of how she runs her life. And Rob Shooter, I need you to do something for me right now. It is free. It is easy. It is simple. Just hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That's because over 50% of you watching this video haven't done that yet. And it is the best way. No big tech backing, no billionaires pulling the strings. And if you turn on the bell, you'll get alerted to all our new videos. Is with me now. Rob, okay, gosh, so much to pick up on here because the Princess Diana thing is absolutely key to me. I think Meghan cosplays Diana in so much of what she does. I think a lot of it is just to try and trick Prince Harry and keep Prince Harry on board with this failing marriage. But what's interesting when it comes to the astrology, Rob, is I'm in touch with Simone Simmons. Now, she was Diana's psychic and best friend, really. And she's not in a good way these days, actually, bless her, but she keeps very much across things. And that relationship with Diana was completely genuine. And Diana did absolutely live by this stuff. For Meghan, Rob, it seems to me like this is more of an excuse. You know, this is why things are going so bad. But according to your reporting, she's deadly serious about this.
Yeah, this was a tricky story for me to write. You spotted the truth in the story right away. Of course, you did. It's at the end of the story because if I had just said at the top of the article that this is about Diana, then there's no story there. So I really struggled with the structure and the flow of this item because some insiders do insist that she's really taking this seriously. Now, the why is very, very difficult to get to. I think you already have, but I'm going to take it at face value, at least initially, that she now is looking for something else. And we see this a lot, particularly with celebrities. When things are not going well, a lot of celebrities find Scientology, they find God, they find a muse. And so this is not that unusual. And what it really is about is celebrities, famous people often don't want to accept any responsibility. If their career, if their life is not going the way they think it should, instead of blaming themselves or their talent or their lack of work ethic, they can blame somebody else. And I think that's partly what's going on here with Meghan, but I do think too, and we get to it eventually in the story, forgive me for teasing, but ultimately this is about Princess Diana. The big difference, Dan, you got it right, is Diana fundamentally believed this. This was in her heart. She absolutely believed it. It's easy for you and me and people to roll their eyes at astrology, but the people that believe it, this is almost like their faith. I don't believe for 1 second Meghan is there, but I do believe she's looking for an excuse. She can no longer blame that dreadful royal family. Now she's blaming the stars.
I mean, it is hilarious, isn't it? Especially when it comes to Netflix, Rob. But do you think this is part of what narcissists do and what people with psychological disorders do, which is that it's anyone but me. It's anyone but me. Someone else was to blame. So in the British royal family, it was a conspiracy. It was Catherine. It was Angela Kelly. You know, they were all to blame. Then it was her own staff members. Then she goes to America. Oh, no, it's the terrible people at Netflix. It's the terrible people at Spotify. Meghan Markle will always find anything she can not to have to look inwards.
Yeah, you're right, but I think now she's found the ultimate excuse. If this is written in the stars, if this is her destiny, then there's no arguing with that, at least in her mind. It really is. It is like people on death row finding Jesus. That happens so much here in America, I think in Britain too. And I think it's fair to say this metaphor might be too aggressive, but I think it's fair to say Meghan's career and potentially her relationship.
I need you to do something for me right now. It is free. It is easy. It is simple. Just hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That's because over 50% of you watching this video haven't done that yet. And it is the best way. No big tech backing, no billionaires pulling the strings. And if you turn on the bell, you'll get alerted to all our new videos.
Is on death row. She now is at the end, and she's not a stupid person. She might be vain, she might be self-absorbed, but she isn't stupid. She has to know that to some degree. So she can't blame the usual suspects. You've listed all of them. She can't blame them anymore. She can't blame herself. So what is she going to blame? Destiny. And so this is why her new inner circle is so concerned. I spoke to somebody that Meghan was potentially doing business with, and they told me they couldn't schedule a Zoom meeting. They couldn't schedule a meeting because her chart wasn't aligned. And so it's just, it is, isn't it? I do giggle.
I mean, I quite like a bit of astrology, Rob. So I'm not one of these people that is going to criticize it and say, oh, this is all total mumbo jumbo. But for me, I think Meghan is just impossible to work with or deal with. And this is just another thing that she's adding to the mix. Because do you remember the Netflix staff members who worked with her said that when she was angry during a call, she would sometimes just hang up and turn the camera off. But she tried to blame the children, Rob. And so now it's like, well, if I'm not committed, oh, it's because of my charts. Now, I think any good astrologer would say, you still have to live your life. You still have to turn up to work. This isn't an excuse not to do things. It's all just about being conscious and aware of why certain things may go a particular way. But she's taken it like she does with everything to an extreme. And it will never last. By the way, it will never last. She'll fall out with these astrologers. They'll be ghosted. She'll be on to the next, probably Scientology next. You know, that's where this seems to be heading.
She will be, but I think the key word that you just said is a good astrologer. I have friends who deeply believe this, and I'm not here to mock their beliefs. Meghan has the expression we use is doctor shop. When you can't find a doctor, a legitimate doctor, to do what you want, like a Michael Jackson, you keep shopping until you find somebody who does. That's what Meghan has done, I'm told, in the world of astrology. She hasn't thought out the greatest astrologer. With her resources and her power, she could have the most amazing people do her charts, sit with her. She hasn't done that. She has found what I'm told is an astrologer who confirms everything that she believes. She's not looking for astrological advice. She's looking for excuses and confirmation that it's not her, it's the universe out to get her. She recently said it's the worst 7 years of her life, and that now her astrologer has told her is over. And so you're right, it won't last, this will blow up. But at the moment, this is where Meghan is now.
And she sort of needs to be here, though, Rob, in some way, doesn't she? Because everything is collapsing around her. Do your sources suggest that psychologically she is an unwell woman?
Yeah, that's a really smart point here. They were cautious about this. What they did tell me is there's nobody left standing. There's
Mm.
nobody left in the organization. There's nobody to talk to debate with, to have conversations with. I think the most healthy companies I've worked for and the way that I run my business is we do have meetings and we do have disagreements. If you do that with Meghan, you're gone. And so there's nobody left now apart from this astrological world. And so for me, it's such a sad place. Once again, I have friends who believe in astrology, but this isn't about astrology. This feels scientific.
I need you to do something for me right now. It is free, it is easy, it is simple. Just hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That's because over 50% of you watching this video haven't done that yet. And it is the best way. No big tech backing, no billionaires pulling the strings. And if you turn on the bell, you'll get alerted to all our new videos.
Like for me, I've covered Tom Cruise, I've covered John Travolta, I've covered the world of Scientology for a really long time. And I was shocked when I was gathering this reporting that felt familiar. The story I was being told felt familiar. It felt like Katie Holmes when she was with Tom Cruise, looking for something, longing for something that she couldn't find in reality. So she found it in the heavens.
I guess the question for me, Rob, is how long is Prince Harry going to continue to be suckered by this? Because we know how unhappy he is. We know how conscious he is of the fact that money is running out. He doesn't particularly even want this life. It's not fulfilling him. He misses his friends. He misses his family. Indeed, in recent weeks, Rob, he's even just suggested, why don't we just move to Montana? Why don't we just live a simpler, cheaper life in Montana? Now, eventually, will he snap having to put up with this? Because it doesn't feel to me like Meghan is even contemplating any type of admission of failure.
She's not looking for help or solution in her partner. No. She's cut him out of this. And I did ask my sources, I was like, is Harry part of this? And they said, no, this is driven, this is led by Meghan. However, though, most of their lives since the day they met have been Meghan driven. And so this is not unusual. Could I see Harry jumping into astrology too? Maybe to keep her happy. He's clearly not happy, but he's also too a very weak person. And so I don't know what the breaking point is. If they've not broken already, and they haven't, they're still together. They've got a lot of trouble, but they're still together. I'm not quite sure what the breaking point would be. And also to remember, because of his mother and his mother's love of astrology and his love of his mother, whenever she plays the Diana card, it's so powerful to Harry. And so I think here it's a little bit of a genius move by Meghan, because if it was good enough for his beloved mom, then it's going to be good enough for his wife. And so I don't think this is going to be the breaking point. I think it's going to have to be something real, like money. They just can't pay their bills anymore. I think that's ultimately, and it's a lot of marriages, are not good marriages, but when the money runs out, that's when the real problem starts. So I predict, I don't know this, but I would predict it's not going to be astrology. It's not going to be what she thinks or what she does that ultimately breaks them up. It's going to be the fact that he can't afford to keep her in the lifestyle that she wants.
But Rob, that's coming. I mean, gosh, so much I want to pick up on there, because so much interesting stuff. You speak about a breaking point. I completely agree. But I think Harry is close to that breaking point. I really do. Certainly mentally. He isn't coping. He isn't there. He struggles to even hide it now in public. Then financially, Dan Wakeford, who is, of course, or for a long time was an ally of the couple, saying the money is running out. The inheritance is running out. 5 years. Now, that might sound like a long time. It's really not when you don't particularly have a way to increase the revenue that you're taking in. But what I think is most interesting, Rob, about your reporting is, and I just made a note of it, you say she's cut him out of this. Now, that is really interesting, isn't it? Because for a long time, she was attempting to constantly bring him in and almost brainwash him in a way. But the fact that she's now cut him out suggests that she is trying another tactic. And I'm sorry, Rob, I'm just going to say it. This is a highly emotionally manipulative woman. And that, to me, sounds like she's trying a different tactic with Harry. It's a bit like, you better be careful because I can walk away too.
Yeah, I think you've got to be really blind not to see that. Like, the writing is on the wall here. She knows how to press his buttons. After all, she did get herself a prince. She got him to marry her. She knows what she's doing here. Astrology is interesting once again because...
I need you to do something for me right now. It is free. It is easy. It is simple. Just hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That's because over 50% of you watching this video haven't done that yet. And it is the best way. No big tech backing, no billionaires pulling the strings. And if you turn on the bell, you'll get alerted to all our new videos.
Of his mother, but this is her thing. This is her thing. She has not gone to her husband and talked about the problems in the marriage or how they can fix this or the fact that she's unhappy, or they've not even talked about how they can make more money. As a couple, they are a business now. They don't have their own jobs. They sell this Sussex brand, and it's just not bringing in the money that they want. They live very well. I would be so lucky to live in a $20 million home in California. It's not Buckingham Palace. It's not the way that he was brought up, and it's not the way that she always aspired to live. So I think Dan, who was at People for a long time, I've known Dan, he's a good guy. I'm so happy that finally, after these very, very light stories for decades that People magazine have been doing, that Dan finally is telling the truth. And I wish he had done it on the cover of People. I wish he'd done it sooner. But it is refreshing that finally now the truth is coming out. They're in a bad shape. The money's running out. And she's looking for the next thing. She's looking for the next advice. And it depends who this astrologer is. If she finds somebody as manipulative as her, if she finds somebody as unscrupulous as her, the advice could be to leave him. The advice could be your star signs tell you it's time to move on. So I think here there's going to be a real dramatic shakeup within this relationship sooner than later.
Well, the thing is, what I guess we know for a fact, Rob, is she has always strategically considered what a post-Harry life would look like.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that on a whole load of levels. I was one of the first to report it, of course, but Vanity Fair did confirm that she had been shopping this post-divorce book to publishing companies, which is absolutely hilarious given she's still with her husband right now. But how do you think she is trying to weigh up a post-Harry life? Because it seems to me, and again, we stress here, Meghan Markle is not stupid. Rob, she's not going to walk, or she's not going to encourage him to walk until there is a wealthy benefactor in his place. And I just don't think she's going to get that anymore. Like, why would any wealthy man go anywhere near this woman? And trust me, she's tried. I mean, I know billionaires who she has had, business meetings with, shall we say. She's certainly cast the net, but I don't think anyone is going to take that on. So actually, I think for her, there's going to be a lot of manipulation of Harry, but she's not actually attempting to get him to walk.
Really good point you're making, Dan. First of all, she's turned on everybody, so eventually she will turn on Harry. There's no doubt about it. And she will blame him for the fact that this brand has not succeeded. She'll think he's lazy. She'll think that he didn't put enough effort in. She'll think that he blew this. Not that she blew it, that he blew it. And I think she's starting to realize now that the partner she's got, not just in life, but in business, doesn't have the ambition, the drive, the passion that she has. And I think she's going to get sick of dragging him along. Meghan uses people to the point that it gets her to the next step. And then she's very happy to cut and run. She's done it even with her own family, with the royal family. Harry will eventually be tossed aside by Meghan Markle. The question is when. You're so smart. Here, I know a lot of very wealthy people. This billionaire club that does exist, it's a billionaire class, not millionaire billionaires. They are not looking for somebody like Meghan Markle. Even Jeff Bezos, who married Lauren Sanchez, she's not as toxic as Meghan Markle. And so I see it all the time. I see it out in restaurants. I see it at the events we go to in New York. Billionaires do like beautiful ladies. And there's no doubt that Meghan is a beautiful lady. However, what she isn't is the type of woman that becomes a wife, and the attention and the amount of passion that she has for the spotlight is something that really rich people don't want. That is real money. They don't want the publicity. They don't want the attention. They don't want the spotlight that Meghan cannot live without.
No, I know. It's super interesting, isn't it? She's just not desirable in that way. And you're right.
No.
It's not talking about what is sexually desirable or aesthetically desirable. It's what she brings to an occasion. And actually, it's really interesting that you mentioned the Met, and I reported this on the show at the time, Rob, but it was your scoop that Meghan Markle actually now regrets dismissing Lauren Sanchez. And you report that she's scrambling to catch up. And you say, Meghan thought Lauren was loud, thirsty, and painfully performative. She smiled to her face, then tore her apart behind her back. Lauren was never someone Meghan took seriously. And she's regretting that so much now. And this is her game plan, Rob. But people see through it, just like Nicole Avant and Ted Sarandos of Netflix saw through it. And we now know that they actually hate her. But you say, according to an insider, Rob, Meghan is suddenly sending handwritten notes, curated gifts, homemade jam, luxury treats. It's classic Meghan. Polished, strategic, and impossible to miss. This is not friendship. This is a social connection. But the thing is, she had her opportunity with Lawrence. I need you to do something for me right now. It is free, it is easy, it is simple. Just hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That's because over 50% of you watching this video haven't done that yet. And it is the best way. No big tech backing, no billionaires pulling the strings. And if you turn on the bell, you'll get alerted to all our new videos. And Lauren Sanchez ain't giving her a second chance.
No, Lauren's going to remember this. I've known Lauren a long time. She used to be the weekend host of a show called Extra, an entertainment show, and she was charming on that show. But celebrities often weren't that kind to her because A, they didn't want to be on the weekend show, they wanted to be on the weekday show, and they never ever thought Lauren would really become anything. Well, Lauren has had the last laugh because now she married one of the richest men in the world. So people that turned their nose up at Lauren, and there was a lot of people that really dismissed her and thought she was vulgar and loud, all of which might be true, but she won the game. And now those same people are bending the knee. Well, Meghan is somebody that Lauren is just not interested in. Meghan loves the money. Meghan loves the power. It was a fatal mistake doing this, and now she's trying to fix it, and she's trying to do that through their mutual friend, Kris Jenner. Kris Jenner is friends with Meghan Markle. She's also friends with Lauren Sanchez. So there's trying behind the scenes to fix this. It just goes to show you, though, in life, don't be awful to people because you just never, ever know where they're going to end up. In Meghan's defense here, saying Lauren Sanchez was always going to be the mistress and never the wife is something that I think a lot of people would have thought. Very few people thought that Jeff was going to marry her. Well, he did. And now she's got the keys to billions and billions of dollars. If this Netflix deal goes away, and it has, Hulu is somewhere that I think Meghan fancies herself going. Jeff Bezos has streaming services. It was such a dumb move from somebody who normally doesn't make these mistakes. Meghan plays a game like a chess master, but finally, I think she's now the emperor with no clothes.
Very well put. Very well put. Because, of course, yeah, it would have been a total drop in the ocean, wouldn't it, for Jeff Bezos to just throw Meghan a career lifeline. And imagine what it would have meant for Was Never. That's what Lady Colin Campbell calls Meghan's product range, as never. If Was Never had a foothold on Amazon, you know, everything would have been sold. But she treated Lauren Sanchez like a piece of dirt on her shoe, and it has come back to bite her big time. But look, Rob, I want to talk about Prince Harry and what Prince Harry is doing to, in your view, build his own monarchy as the British royal family actually start to brutally turn on this guy and start realizing what a traitor he is. So what we're going to do is move over to subs. I need you to do something for me right now. It is free, it is easy, it is simple. Just hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That's because over 50% of you watching this video haven't done that yet. And it is the best way. No big tech backing, no billionaires pulling the strings. And if you turn on the bell, you'll get alerted to all our new videos.